say something about my conversation today afternoon. Was asking her about activities, and I said she discussed to me that the corporation members now, some of them were now contacting her secretly, get notebooks 1 and 2 to read. So they're now coming in through the back door, but that's okay. Better than going on the ground. So they're contacting her in private, don't want publicity, and they get the new books 1 and 2 to read. A good thing. Then she also disclosed that the discussion classes have helped to fine-tune the understanding of new friends. Gradually, many are seeing the necessity to do something out of their comfort zone rather than expect that miraculously things will just work out for them without any personal commitment. Many of them now have realized and use Duane's word, they're ready to step up, do something wonderful for themselves and for the new foundation eventually. So there's been a turnaround. Perception in understanding. And then she also shared with me the dream of this lady, Jenny. Okay, she said Jenny had questions about temples of golden wisdom, and she had read and heard about in the corporation. Then she had a real side experience where she saw a building in the clouded mountains that looked like one of the big buildings in the Congo. She suddenly found herself again where the new friends in Congo hold their meetings and discussion classes. And when she arrived, when she was there, she realized that there were 9 persons dressed in white robes seated there, backing her somehow. Then she asked within if Mariam was aware that these persons were at the meeting place. Then all of a sudden, all of the 9 persons there turned and looked at her, and she recognized Shamuzi Tabriz. Then she says Shamuzi Tabriz told her that each time they have a meeting with their feet touching the ground, there is a kind of special connection with the real guides. So that is that for this dream experience. It shows that, my opinion, the real guides, wherever the new is sung, the real guides are there and they come to give assistance. They are also at the discussion classes, meetings, and all the like. So that's the update for Congo. Last time, Eva asked me about the activities for Cameroon, and I told her very cocksuredly that Atem Peter, who had called you, Duane, some time ago from Boston. I said, well, he had decided to step up and he was going to pilot activities there. I'd arranged with him. And his name is even on the compressed book 2 and 6.
Okay, one more time, Charles. What is this? Who is this fella? I kind of remember we talked about this possibly before. Who is this?
Atem Peter.
Adam Peter.
Yeah, Atem Peters.
Atom. It's ATUM or something, isn't it?
ATEM, yes.
Mm-hmm. And where's he at?
Well, he's in Boston now,
Okay.
and he'll be traveling back in June. But I was surprised the day before yesterday. He wrote telling me that he had uh, he had, he had consulted himself, and he's decided that he will not have any no longer have any affiliations with any group, any spiritual or whatever. Just wants to be himself, this and that. So I just told him, well, that was his decision, and shouldn't have caused me to put his name on the books and all the like. Don't know whether he wants me to beg him or what. So I'm yet to talk to him to concretize his decision.
What is his name doing on the books or whatever? What's the idea of that? Did he translate something or what?
Now, as contact persons,
Oh, as contact. Okay, so he's inside the book there. Okay, all right. Well, this will be interesting. So he's in there, and what's his phone number in there or what?
yeah, his phone number is there and his email. So,
Well, he'll have to deal with it, won't he? So again, it'll be his choice. But lucky him, his name is in there. So whatever, things happen. So we deal with it. So yeah, go ahead.
well, I will still talk with him. I know him as somebody with shifting positions on everything. I've been discussing with him, and I realize he's that way. Takes some erratic decisions, irrational sometimes, even from the time of the cooperation. That's how he behaves. So I would still talk with him. I say, well, uh, should tell me again about his decision, and I think he's taking the wrong decision. I'll talk him out of that position he's taken. That's how he is. I understand him. I'll just gradually talk him out of it. And his problem, uh, I think, is because he's not been in contact with the new presentation. He's not been able to attend even one Skype. Don't read. I send him books by email, the PDF books. He's unable to really download and read. So, and he's not been active with the corporation. So I see his feet dangling. He's toying with some religious stuff that he forwards to me, and I think he's while in the United States, maybe his son dragged him to church, all that kind of thing, and I've been talking about God, and it's lost direction.
Charles, just for a moment here, I get it, and that's nothing new. Here's the idea. We don't really talk people in or out of things. What we do is that we just let them know that they have free will. They can decide whatever they want, but until they decide to stand real with the real guides, then they don't. So the real guides are there. Rebazar and the boys are there, but they don't drag a person, and so they decide to stand where they do. And if they don't decide to stand with the real guides and the all is, then they stay in creation. That's their choice. And they can do that. And if they want to do the gods of man thing, fine, go do it. I just say, okay, have fun, whatever, your choice. And that's that. So they'll just stay in creation. But our position is it's not about right or wrong. It's not a problem. It's not, we don't convince anybody of anything. No, everybody has free will, just like the birds. They can fly wherever they want. The reality is that Rebazar and the real guides will let you be. They'll just leave you alone until you're ready or you're not. It's just that simple. So that way you're relieved of all of it. All you do is communicate the idea. And so, no, we're not here to convince anybody. The best part of what we do is that we're real and we're sincere, and we do stand real. Those that have stepped up and do something and etc. prove themselves. It takes a lot. There's a lot of parts to this, not just one where you just do the new you and read the books. There's a lot of parts to this. And you've got to constantly prove yourself and stand real with it. And you see this in this individual going back and forth, wavering back and forth. Well, that's okay. Like the sun shining, it's not concerned. The is not concerned. Many people have this idea thinking that, it's the old God idea, thinking that, oh, God cares, God is concerned, God wants you to do this or that. No, that's the old God idea. The isness life is like the sun shining. You must decide to stand real with how it is. It doesn't decide your life. This is what has to be gotten across to everybody. This is why people are still, and you see it in Africa, they're still begging and pleading and looking for miracles because they're using the old God idea to get to where they want to be, you might say, in recognizing who they really are. And it's not going to work. None of it is going to work. They need to step up and do something real. So again, like what's taking place, Ava gets things, we get things from different people, etc. And yes, people are bothered by what's going on the planet. Well, I am too, but realistically, I keep moving forward, you might say, and doing something, creating something, that is a reference to a real benefit for everybody. So it's not sitting just complaining about things and wanting something to happen. It's making it happen. It's doing it. And not something that just sounds good. It's more than that. It's really doing it. And so the few of us that are here that are actually stepping up and doing it, where we've created the three positions now, they're basically established. And we're working off of this and other things, but basically, because the world is huge, and you can utilize this too, and I just put the hearts in here, it's the homeschooling, which we've established, which Kendall will be the president of, and then the university, and then the Vessel Project. These are steps for people to go through, and there are other things besides that. Of course, there's the worldwide educators, but it all applies, and wecare.org, etc., and the new presentation and the books. But utilizing these three steps here is huge because the world is focused on the boy meets girl thing and the children and the mothers. And today, a lot of the mothers, they don't want to go to school. They don't want to in other words, they don't want their children to go to school because of the vaccines and everything else that's been implemented. And if their children are hyperactive from eating too much sugar or nonsense food, well, then the system wants them to take drugs, and the parents will be arrested if they don't take drugs. So it's really a messed up situation, plus the indoctrination of the system too. So we're pushing the new school homeschool from there into the university, into a real education, from there into the Vessel Project, which is the all natural environment, which we're focused on. So we're providing an entire position here, a wonderful position of a real education more than just a career with the controlling systems. So we're setting all this up, and it's already done on the real side. And so the very few that step up and take part with what we're doing, like Val and Kelsey and Chris and Hessam, etc. Yeah, this is a very real position that we're doing, and it will move out further and further and further because it all exemplifies the real awareness, this isness that can come through all of this and just make itself known in this world for people to recognize a step at a time. And it is working. And since we've started the new school, people are seeing this and they really like this because the entire world is trying to, so many people in the world are trying to get away in some way from the system, just the regular system, and want another option. So we have created this. And when this third part came in, I saw that, we have a completeness here. Now, it doesn't mean that there's not more. Of course there is. But this way, as people go through our process, and it's going to be a lot more fun, and it's going to be a lot easier than the drudgery of the militarized systems in their colleges and your universities and their schooling system. This will be a lot more fun. They'll learn a lot more, and eventually it can go to the Vessel Project, where everybody can take part in that and learn about the environment, because it's agreement. It's all about agreement. And once we get people's agreement to where they see what's real, well, this becomes the change that people are looking for in creation. We're not here to change things because there is free will here, but we are here to provide what is a real benefit so each person can decide and see it for themselves, what makes sense. And so we've set this up to where that it does. Now there's other avenues from this, of course, but I see the homeschooling is huge, and then the university and whatever, because most people want to go to college, they want a career, etc. Well, why not have a real position in a real life with the Vessel Project, because that will entail the whole world more than just a career, you see. But then again, some people, like your friend there, Adam Peters, wants his personal life. Well, you can have it and then just grow old. It's his choice. So go ahead, Charles. Thank you for listening. Go ahead.
Yeah, as I said, that's his choice.